Hey, what's going on, you guys? It has been such a while since we chatted. So I did finish up IT-100. So this was fundamentals of information technology. It was a great class. This instructor, Brian Johnson, I don't know if you guys have him. He was very responsive in his classes, but let's get into week 5. All right. So module 5, couple of things that you're going to need to prepare for, in my opinion. So before we even get started with that, let's talk about the grades like we always do. All right. So on our grade side of things, for obviously I got an A ultimately in this class. So let's talk about module 5. So each one, as it was just like in 1 through 4, you're always going to have a knowledge check. So knowledge check, easy to knock out. Okay. Discussions were pretty lengthy actually in this class. We had to do quite a few things in it. So this was actually a pretty good discussion class. The project. Okay. In this project, I believe there was one portion inside of here, like on the rubric, where he and I had a massive disagreement, and where it was in the citations. And it was because he wanted this to be an APA format. And this is just something in case you end up with him as an instructor, maybe other instructors do this. So nowhere inside of the actual rubric did it say APA format. Where he put the APA format was in a video that he does each week that would tell you how to put together that week's content. So I asked him, and I put it inside of my, like the course evaluations that we had at the end. I was like, each document, if it should be an APA format, it should state it should be an APA format in the instructions. And in the rubric, it didn't. I went through and looked. I even went through to make sure if it was something inside of, let's say it was on a syllabus and I happened to miss it. But that's why I still scored well. But my problem was I felt like that should have been clearly stated in the rubric. So when I was going through it, I would see, oh, this needs to be submitted in APA format, and there was nowhere to be found. So he said he will make sure that gets taken care of. Week 6. Now, coming back in week 6, at that point, everything that I did after 5 was all in APA format. So if you're taking this class, I don't know about any other instructor. I can tell you this instructor, make sure that the APA format is there. Okay. 6, not that big of a deal. The classwork, this was just like creating a milestone, and you're going to have to do the lengthy project. Unfortunately, for a lot of this stuff now, if you watch my last video, I had students that were using my work. I would show what I submitted, and people would actually download the video and then submit the work just like I did. They would just basically copy it and submit it. So what I'm doing kind of in this is a little bit different. I won't show you everything that I did, but I can at least go through and say, okay, look, this is how I got through this part. This one in the systems thinking project milestone, you might want to make sure that you start working on that one early. That's not one to wait until a Sunday to do. I think that project took me 3.5 hours to do. And that's again, because I waited to Sunday to do the work. So wouldn't recommend that. 7 and 8 were not really that lengthy of a project. Now, the IT professional is, because what you're going to have to do for that particular aspect is you actually have to go through and you have to write, as an IT person, this is the equipment. This is how the system should be set up. These are the recommendations of items that the location should purchase, because it gives you basically this fake location, okay, this fake company. And then you're the IT professional that has to go into that location and break down, okay, look, you don't have computers, you have a warehouse and you need a warehouse management system, things like that. So that's how you're going to do the IT professional portion. The scripting and programming, that's more of a quiz that you're going to have. That one actually wasn't actually very easy. So just make sure that you're studying on 7, because I think, if my memory serves me correctly, I had to do that test twice, or that quiz twice. 8, as you're finishing up, is you're going to have to find a job. So 8.1, the discussion is you're going to have to find a job, and then you're going to have to write out like your resume profile. So you're going to have to Say, for example, I want to be a data analyst. Here is the information that would go over my resume in the profile section. So not too bad. With that, the systems thinking at the end, this one I want to talk to you in depth. Make sure with the 8-2. This one is you take everything that you learned through the class, and at the end, you're going to go into a business again, and you're going to sit down and write the whole entire, like what equipment they need. And then that equipment is going to be specific to, let's say, the warehouse staff. You have to actually go through and show like how a customer would order a product online, and then how that goes all the way through the system. That's why it's called systems thinking. And show like, hey, the person purchased this online. Once it goes to that, a person picks up the request in the warehouse, and then it goes through step by step. So make sure that you pay attention and actually outline, break it down into each specific section. So I made sure for mine that he broke mine down in a very unique way. So this is one I will show you how I worked on that, so that I don't know if I'll be able to pull it from here. Probably not. Okay. For 8, I do want to make sure that you see it, because when I submitted mine, I submitted it with the understanding that I was on the right track. Honestly, I didn't know if I was or not, but the instructor came back and let me know, hey, you did well. So I'll show you how I did my breakdown. So that'll at least give you some solace in how to break it down. Okay. So on the, let me find it first. That's the only thing about this. Like I know where it is because I have it on my network. So I guess I could just find it on there too. And what was this? Here, what class was this? 8-2? All right. So this is how I broke down mine. So I won't give anybody a chance to write everything, but when I say break it down, this is what I mean. You're actually going to have to break down all of this stuff, all of your images. You're going to have to break down and put your conclusion and make sure your reference documents are correct. So make sure that this is an APA format. Also make sure that you sit down and you go through and break it down. What does the warehouse need? Things like that. All right. So this ended up being longer than I wanted it to be, but you guys definitely were owed a follow-up for this. So what do I ultimately think of the class? I'm going to do that in another video. I won't keep you guys here, but I am going to go through things that I learned and what I would reflect on. So thank you guys for watching. Any questions about 5 through 8, feel free to reach out to me in the comment section. I love sitting down, reading the comments, and so far, so good. We're doing well in class, and I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.